Are we on? Oh, sorry. Hello, YouTubians. Today we're going to review an album released this year by a band called Cult of Youth. And I am proud to say, as a fellow American, that they are American. From Brooklyn, I believe. Not that we should hold that against them. Anyhow, I am a fan of post-punk music. If you don't know what that means, just hit stop on this video and move on to something else. I'm also a fan of neo-folk, industrial, martial industrial music, power electronics, power violence, noise, Japanese noise, and every single derivation thereof. Anyhow, getting back to the point. I listened to this album and I jotted down some notes here. As you can tell, it's kind of a frenetic assortment of notes here, so I'm going to try to keep this brief. Here we go. Right off the bat, when you listen to this album, you hear prominent bass. Now, prominent bass is indicative of post-punk music, and the bass throughout this album is quality. It's murky, it's every song you can hear it, and for a bass player, it would probably be something that you want to play along with. The drums, also quality, and whereas some neo-folk bands, say a Death in June, the drums are more primitive, just to establish a beat and a very primitive rhythm to set as the foundation for the songs. The drums throughout this album, where they can sometimes go on that primitive side, the drums on this album pretty much rock, which is pretty cool for neo-folk music. And the third thing that I would say that immediately stands out in this album is the vocals. The vocalist has a really skilled vocal instrument. He can go from kind of a raw delivery, where his voice is all over the place and might crack a little bit or kind of shouting and aggressive, and he can switch to more of a Douglas Pierce attack, which is kind of a flat, almost deadpan vocal. I think there are also some female vocals backing him. There are also layered vocals throughout the mix, which is really nice. So it's a really nice presentation there. I hear some Hipsters review this album by Cult of Youth, and it just makes me shudder, because Hipsters are like this nasty amoeba that spread their pseudopods over every single type of music. You know, they've taken over black metal, and now what are they going to get into? Neo-folk? Keep your hands off of neo-folk, okay? And I'm talking about the Needle Drops and these other kind of hipster-dipster types. Stick to your type of music, okay? Stick to The Throne, stick to Jay-Z and Kanye West and Britney Spears or Kesha or whatever you listen to. Stay away from neo-folk. Alright, so getting back to the songs. This album is set up in a really nice way. It jumps right into things. You have furious guitar playing, acoustic guitar. You have, like I said, the nice prominent bass. Several standout tracks on this album. I would say the opener, which is called The New West, The Pole Star, The Lamb, The Dead Sea, and the closing track is called Lace Up Your Boots, which is a really strong finish. I think every band should open strong and close strong, and this album definitely does that. As far as lyrical themes, I haven't really been able to investigate that yet, so I'll have to edit this maybe in the future. I really enjoyed this album. I feel like it really taps into the whole post-punk neo-folk genre, and I read some reviews and they say it has a post-punk bent. It's like, do you even know the origins of neo-folk? Do you know where it came from? It was spawned from post-punk via industrial and noise, and then it gave birth to neo-folk. A lot of people are saying, well, there's veins of Current 93 in here. Bullshit. This sounds nothing like Current 93. If you ever heard a vocal delivered by David Tibet, it sounds nothing like that. And people say, well, it kind of sounds like the Pogues. No, bullshit. The Pogues is Irish, Celtic, pub rock, whatever. No, this sounds nothing like that. Maybe if you listen to the first track and the half of the second, maybe you'd think, oh, this is a Pogues album. No. The vocals vary, the music varies. It's nothing like the Pogues. It's nothing like Shane MacGowan or his solo works or anything like that. There's no similarity there at all. The only similarity that I can see is a comparison to Death in June. be it the vocals and the strummy acoustic guitar. And that's definitely a good thing. It's nice to hear a band in 2011 influenced by a band that's been around 35 years or whatever that has never really got any respect, and they've just been kind of pushed off to the side, and their music is just kind of plunged into the void of obscurity. So it's kind of nice to see this tradition continued. Anyhow, I would say this is a quality album if you're into post-punk, neo-folk, or Hyena era, Susie and the Banshees even. If you like acoustic music, if you like music that rocks, I mean, this appeals to everybody. If you don't like quality vocals, quality drums, quality bass, quality songwriting, then stay away from this album. If you do, this is definitely a safe purchase. Check it out. This is easily, and emphasis on easily, one of the top albums of 2011. I give it a 4.5 out of 5.